Everyone warned me. Not once, not twice, but in different ways and at different times. Some people spoke directly. Others said nothing, but their eyes changed whenever his name came up. And even when no one spoke at all, my own spirit kept whispering that something was not right. But I ignored it. I ignored all of it. I wanted the relationship to work so badly that I convinced myself the warnings were just fear, just doubt, or people projecting their own past pain onto me. I told myself that love would fix everything. I told myself that marriage would change him. I told myself that patience was the key to a successful home. When I met him, he was the kind of man people admired easily. Soft-spoken, calm in public, prayerful on the outside. He knew how to say the right things. He knew how to pray beautifully. He knew how to present himself as gentle and mature. In church, he held my hand with confidence and people smiled at us. They said I was lucky. But even then there were signs. Quiet signs. He hated being corrected. He never accepted blame without turning it back on me. Every disagreement ended with me apologizing just to restore peace. Whenever I expressed discomfort, he dismissed it as me being too sensitive or overthinking things. Still, I told myself that no relationship is perfect and that marriage would soften him. The first time my spirit truly felt unsettled was after a small disagreement when he went silent for hours. It was not calm silence. It was cold and punishing. I called. I texted. There was no response. When he finally replied, he said he needed to show me that actions have consequences. I remember sitting on my bed that night, staring at my phone, feeling confused and uneasy, wondering why love suddenly felt like punishment. But instead of listening to that feeling, I pushed it aside. I didn't want to seem dramatic. I didn't want to appear ungrateful. So I moved on. As the wedding drew closer, the heaviness increased. Nothing dramatic happened. There was no big fight. No scandal. Just a quiet loss of peace. I would smile on the outside, but inside my chest felt tight. During prayer, my thoughts wandered. One night, a clear question came into my heart, asking if I was truly sure about what I was about to do. I tried to rebuke it. I prayed louder. I told myself it was confusion. By then, wedding invitations had been printed. Families were involved. The church was excited. So I ignored the warning and kept going. The wedding day was beautiful. The hall was full. Music filled the air. People danced and celebrated. Everyone said I was glowing. But deep inside, I felt like I was walking into something I didn't fully understand. When he held my hands at the altar, they felt cold. I told myself it was just normal wedding nerves. That night, after the guests had gone and the smiles had faded, an argument started over something small. Something I barely remember now. In the middle of it, he raised his voice. I tried to calm him down. I asked us to talk. And then he hit me. Not hard enough to leave bruises. Not loud enough for anyone to hear. But hard enough to break something inside me forever. When I stood there shocked and frozen, he said I had pushed him to do it. The next morning, he apologized. He cried. He promised it would never happen again. He blamed stress. He blamed tiredness. He blamed the pressure of the wedding. And gently, he blamed me too. I wanted the marriage to work, so I believed him. I smiled for people. I covered my fear. I told myself it was a mistake. But it didn't stop. The hitting didn't happen every day, and that made it confusing. It only happened during arguments and was always followed by apologies. Slowly I began to disappear. I stopped speaking freely. I stopped expressing myself. I stopped being myself. Silence felt safer than honesty. As time passed, control replaced love. He checked my phone. He questioned my friendships. He corrected my tone. If I laughed too freely, he accused me. If I stayed quiet, he interrogated me. When I cried, he mocked me. When he hit me again, he said it was how women learn. I prayed harder. I fasted more. I begged God to change him. But deep inside, I was afraid of leaving. Afraid of shame. Afraid of people saying they warned me. So I stayed longer than I should have. One night, after another painful argument, I locked myself in the bathroom and slid down to the floor. My body was shaking. I felt empty. For the first time, I didn't ask God to fix my husband. I asked him to save me. In that quiet space, a gentle but painful truth came to my heart, reminding me that the warnings were never meant to shame me. They were meant to protect me. And that my life mattered more than my image. Leaving was not easy. Not because I loved him, but because I cared too much about what people would say. But I eventually realized it was better to disappoint people than to destroy myself. When I finally chose to leave, healing began slowly. I learned to breathe again. I learned to speak again. I learned that love does not hurt you to teach you, and that marriage should never feel like a prison. I'm telling this story not to scare anyone, but to remind you that peace is not optional, warnings are not punishment, and when something feels wrong, you should listen. Ignoring the warning almost cost me my life. Listening to it, even late, saved my future. If this story touched you in any way, I would really love to hear from you. You can share your thoughts in the comments, or even share a part of your own experience, because someone reading your words may find the courage they need today. Please remember to like this video if it spoke to your heart, share it with someone who might need to hear it, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next story. We are building a safe space here for real stories, healing, and truth, and I'm grateful you are part of it.